1963 Austin Healey MK300, located in Mission Hills. KS valued at $39,000. If you've ever watched a classic movie and dreamed of bombing down a coastal highway in a vintage British roadster, you need to see this. It's famously known as that father of the bride classic. Back in the early 60s, the British sports car invasion was in full swing in the States. You had the Triumph TR4 for the budget-minded beer and the Jaguar E-Type for the high rollers. The Austin Healey 3000, affectionately known as the Big Healey, sat right in the sweet spot. It offered a beefy, muscular driving experience that the smaller MGBS just couldn't match. It was a raw, front-engine, rear-wheel drive brute that dominated European rallies, but looked sophisticated enough to park at a high end. To see what the market looks like today, check out this gorgeous 63 I just found listed out of Mission Hills, Kansas. The seller dropped the price down to a very tempting $39,500. It is equipped with those iconic knockoff chrome wire wheels, bucket seats, and a top boot. Under the hood, it's packing a 2.9-litre inline-six featuring dual-SU carburetors, which the prior owner reportedly rebuilt. It features a manual transmission with overdrive, and the current owner even threw in new carpet and a sound mat. With 63,426 miles on the dash, this fantastic prior restoration is a totally turnkey weekender. It's an analog masterpiece that guarantees a massive smile every single time you hit the open road. 1959 Lincoln Premier, located in Rayville, Mo, valued at $9,000. This isn't just a classic car, it's a literal rolling piece of mid-century architecture. Back in '59, Lincoln was in an all-out heavyweight battle with the Cadillac DeVille and the Chrysler Imperial. While Cadillac was busy chasing massive, razor-sharp tail fins, Lincoln took a completely different approach. They went bold with a blocky, incredibly wide, and aggressive unibody design. To give you an idea of what's out there right now, check out this four-door '59 Premier I just found online. The seller recently dropped the price from $12,500 down to $9,000. The awesome news here that the heavy mechanical lifting is already done. It's packing the original 430 big block, and the motor, transmission, and brakes have all been completely rebuilt. It even has a new gas tank, and best of all, it has never had rust. Now, it is definitely a project. The seller is super honest, noting that the paint is faded and actually looks better in the photos. There's a scuff on the passenger rear door and a dent over the driver's headlight. Inside, you're going to need to start fresh with new carpet, upholstery, a headliner, and a few other small things. If you don't have the cash, the seller is even open to trading 4 4x4s, ATVs, hot rods, or dune buggies. So, does taking on a giant '59 Lincoln make sense in 2026? Absolutely. This massive V8 cruiser, the ultimate rebel. It's a pure, analog machine that commands attention at every single stoplight. 1946 Oldsmobile Dynamic Hydromatic, located in Omaha, NE valued at $15,000. It's an incredible time capsule from a very specific moment in history that makes 1946 models like this one some of the lowest production cars you'll ever come across. This specific one I'm looking at is just spectacular, a truly preserved automobile with only 54,000 original miles. The owner has clearly treated this like a member of the family for the last 11 years, making sure it gets out on the road at least once a week during the nice weather. It's running the classic 238 cubic inch straight 6-cylinder engine, which had its motor and transmission overhauled back in the late 1980s and still works great today. The seller hasn't been shy about keeping it roadworthy either. It's got 4 new Coca tires, a new fuel tank, a new fuel pump, new brakes, and even some updated wiring. The frame and trunk are completely rust-free, and it's been stored in a heated garage for the last 40 years. Honestly, the coolest detail, the original factory seat covers are still on it because the original seats underneath have literally never been sat on. What set it apart from so many of its contemporaries was the legendary 4-speed, high-dramatic transmission. While other drivers were still busy working a clutch pedal, Olds owners were enjoying the ease of a fully automatic experience. 1960 Triumph TR3B, located in Denver, Co., valued at $26,000. With its low-cut cutaway doors and bold, bug-eye headlights, it's a raw, mechanical machine that absolutely demands your attention. The TR3B is a really fascinating piece of automotive history, built for only a single year. It was a special transitional model. Triumph essentially took the classic, beloved body of the older TR3A and stuffed it with the upgraded to 0.1-litre engine and fully synchronized gearbox meant for the newer TR4. When you compare it to its main rival of the era, the MGA, the Triumph was the brawnier, punchier option. It didn't have the swooping elegance of the MG, but it had a rugged, bulldog charm and a hardcore rally-winning pedigree that gave it serious street cred. To see what it takes to own one today, check out this 6 TR3B I just spotted listed out of Denver, Colorado, for $26,800. The absolute best part about this specific car is that the owner has completely modernized the driving experience. They've invested over $30,000 in receipts, heavily upgrading the car by converting it to rack and pinion steering and a 5-speed manual transmission. That is a massive game changer for handling modern roads. 1938 Buick Special, located in Nevada, valued at $20,000. So, you want to be a gangster? Here's your chance. That's not me talking. That's the actual opening line from a listing I just found for a 1938 Buick Special, and honestly, the seller nailed the vibe perfectly. When you look at pre-war American iron, there's just an undeniable presence. To really appreciate the 38 Special, you have to understand where Buick sat in the automotive food chain. Back in the late 30s, Buick was General Motors' premium step-up brand. You bought a Chevy if you needed basic transport, but if you had some real money and wanted to show it off without going full Cadillac, you bought a Buick. Compared to a standard Ford V8 or a Plymouth of the same era, the Buick was just more. It was heavier, more refined, and rode like an absolute dream thanks to its advanced coil spring suspension. Speaking of that engine, let's look at the specs on this specific one I found listed out in Nevada, Missouri. Under that massive hood sits a straight 8-cylinder powerhouse. It's paired with a 3-speed manual 4-shift, giving you that pure, tactile, and mechanical driving experience. The car is finished in a beautiful burgundy exterior with a tan interior, and yes, it features those incredibly cool suicide rear doors. The seller describes it as a great original driver. Now, the odometer shows 72,366 miles, but as the seller hilariously points out, who knows, I wasn't even born yet. At an asking price of $20,900, it's a remarkably accessible entry point into serious pre-war car ownership. 1969 Fiat 600 Fastback, located in Wichita, KS valued at $19,000. There are some cars that just instantly make you smile, and the Fiat 600 is definitely one of them. It's a tiny slice of Italian history that punches way above its weight class in terms of sheer personality. It's a masterclass in how to build a cultural pop icon on wheels. To understand why this car matters, you have to look at the era. The original Fiat 600 was built in Italy from 1955 all the way to 1969. When you stack it up against other small cars of that time like the classic Mini, even the original Volkswagen Beetle, the Fiat really stood out for being incredibly efficient and packaging smart. This specific 69 example is from the very last year of production, making it a particularly special find. It's a fully restored, fantastic running and driving example. Under the hood, or rather, in the rear, it's powered by a rebuilt 633cc, water-cooled, inline 4-cylinder engine that drives the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual transmission. Now, I know what you're thinking. 28 horsepower. That doesn't sound like much, but because the car only weighs about 1,290 pounds, it's actually incredibly spirited. It will comfortably run 60 miles per hour and pull down over 40 mpg, and the seller even mentions it sounds just like a little race car. The surprising thing is how usable it is. It's actually spacious and comfortable, easily accommodating adults over 6 feet tall without any issues. The interior is well appointed and looks brand new. With the car showing just over 30,000 miles, it's a rust-free example, which, if you know these classics, is one of the nicest ones you'll find on the market today. Plus, the styling and color scheme and total head turners. The owner says they get tons of looks and smiles every single time they take it out. So, is a Fiat 600 worth it in 2026? Honestly, if you're tired of massive, soulless modern appliances, this is the perfect antidote. It's a unique, quality piece of Italian history that costs less to buy than it would to restore one yourself. 1964 Chevrolet Impala, located in Kansas City, valued at $38,000. When you talk about the absolute golden era of American cruising, one undisputed heavyweight champion always comes to mind: the 1964 Chevrolet Impala. Historically, 64 was the final year of the third generation, and Chevy absolutely nailed the styling. They ditched the wild fins of the late 50s for a sleeker, more squared off, and aggressive look. When you stack it up against its main rivals at the time like the Ford Galaxy 500 or the Plymouth Fury, the Impala just had that unmatched street presence and a much smoother, luxurious ride thanks to its famous X-frame chassis. To see what the market looks like today, check out this absolute beauty I just found listed out in Kansas City, Missouri for $38,500. This is a striking two-door sport coupe hardtop that has been owned and carefully maintained for over 30 years. The standout feature is definitely that unique, professionally applied House of Cola candy paint finish, which pops perfectly alongside those classic wire wheels and white wall tires. Under the hood, it's packing a reliable small block 350 V8. That power is sent to the rear wheels through a 3-speed turbo hydromatic automatic transmission, and here is the kicker: it was just professionally rebuilt in 2025. It's a beautifully preserved icon that's been garage kept, covered, and gently driven its whole life. So, does a 64 Impala still hold its weight in 2026? Absolutely. This isn't just a car, it's a piece of lowrider and muscle car royalty. Would you guys cruise this on a Saturday night? Let me know in the comments. 1957 Mercury Monterey, located in Seward, NE, valued at $17,500. This isn't just a classic car, it's a massive, chrome-drenched statement piece. Today, we're diving into what makes this jet-age giant so special. Back in the late 50s, Mercury sat comfortably as Ford's middle child. It was a significant step up from a standard Ford, offering more luxury and power, but wasn't quite as incredibly expensive as a Lincoln. To see exactly what I mean, check out this beautiful listing I just spotted out in Seward, Nebraska. This specific Monterey is a 4-door sedan model, and it's a prime example of mid-century automotive art. The seller notes that it features a fully restored exterior, wearing a stunning two-tone black and white paint job. But the coolest part, it still retains its original interior, giving you that perfect mix of show-quality shine on the outside and authentic history on the inside. Under the hood, this land yacht is pushing a very impressive 290 horsepower, and driving it is a completely unique experience, because it comes equipped with a futuristic push-button transmission. No column shifter here, just click a button on the dash and go. 1964 Chrysler 300, located in Lincoln, NE, valued at $19,000. When you look at American cars from the mid-1960s, you usually see a lot of wild fins or stripped-down drag strip monsters. But then there's this, the 1964 Chrysler 300 touring sedan. This thing is the absolute definition of a gentleman's muscle car. It's big, it's imposing, and it perfectly bridges the gap between high-end luxury and raw American V8 power. I just came across this incredibly clean 4-door hardtop version listed out in Lincoln, Nebraska, and honestly, it's a brilliant reminder of an era when Chrysler was absolutely dominating the styling game. Historically, the Chrysler 300 non-letter series was designed to bring the legendary high performance heritage of the famous letter cars down to a slightly more affordable luxury cruiser level. When you stack this up against what Buick was doing with the Wildcat or Oldsmobile with the Starfire, the Chrysler 300 always held a unique edge. It felt sharper. It had that famous unibody construction, torsion bar suspension, and a muscular attitude that made its rivals look a bit too soft, while still offering a ride that felt like floating on a cloud. Let's look at the specs on this specific listing, because whoever owned it treated it right. It's a 4-door hardtop that just underwent a fresh restoration. We're talking brand new paint, upholstery, headliner, and carpet. Even the engine compartment was fully refreshed with new fluids, belts, a fresh tune-up, and all new brakes. Underneath all that fresh work, it's a highly authentic machine showing only 76,654 original miles. Right now, it's sitting on first-year Roadrunner Rally wheels, which gives it a slightly more aggressive stance, but the seller is actually throwing in all the original wheels and hubcaps too. 1948 Chevrolet Stylemaster, located in Topeka, KS valued at $22,000. There's something about the post-war era that just hits different. Take a look at this 1948 Chevrolet Stylemaster. It's not just a car, it's a snapshot of a country getting back on its feet. You're looking at the legendary 216 cubic inch stove-bolt inline-6 engine. It wasn't built for racing, it was built to last. The Stylemaster was Chevy's entry-level offering back then, designed to get people back on the road. When you compare it to the more expensive Fleetmaster of the same year, the Stylemaster was all about the essentials, no extra fluff, just solid, reliable American steel that could handle anything. Honestly, in 2026, driving something like this is the ultimate statement. There's a raw, tactile joy to shifting gears and hearing that old-school 6-cylinder hum. If you want to slow down and really enjoy the road, there's no better way to do it than in a 48 Chevy.